Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. IBF champion Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr. says, line him up. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, the channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, I was on the verified page of Errol Spence Jr., his Twitter account, and he has some interesting tweets. He's been a little cryptic. Sometimes he puts like, these dudes so lame, and he did it immediately after Garcia versus Rios outcome. So leads me to believe that he was talking about certain people on that particular night. And he says, they say they want smoke, but I know they don't want it. Then he says, line them up. So to me, it sounds to me as if he's gunning down and gunning for the welterweight division, and he's just throwing it out there like they saying they want smoke, but I know they don't really want to fight me. And a lot of people agree with him right now. A lot of welterweights. You look at Errol Spence Jr., his performances, he's only getting stronger, and not just physically stronger, but only getting stronger as a fighter, mentally stronger, right? And gaining confidence. Because you got to look at it. Look at Errol Spence. I mean, he went from fighting the Phil LaGrecos and on people's undercards and things like that, the Chris Van Herdines and the Barrera dude, to fighting Chris Algieri, a barometer test, a guy who's been there with Pacquiao, Ruslan Provodnikov, Amir Khan, and then he did better than they did by stopping Chris Algieri, right? He fought Leonard Bundu, a guy Keith Thurman had fought, another barometer style opponent. Keith Thurman hurt Bundu, but he couldn't finish him off, and his face was actually a little bit tattered at the end of the fight, and we know Bundu got knocked out by Errol Spence Jr. And then obviously stepped up Kell Brook. The rest is truly history. So we know he's gaining confidence. The Lamont Peterson performance in January, I obviously picked Errol Spence to win. I thought he had the more momentum. He's a guy that's been a welterweight longer, big size dude for the division. But how he won, that's what's really important. I knew Lamont Peterson's no joke. You know what I mean? Gave Danny Garcia problems, Victor Ortiz problems. He beat Amir Khan. You know what I mean? We respect him. And Errol Spence fought him and made it one-sided. So I think he's just gaining confidence. And I got to talk about this because Abel Sanchez has said a lot of controversial things recently. And I believe Errol Spence was mentioned as to how he needs to act, how an African-American fighter should be acting to epitomize and sell. Listen, different strokes for different folks. People who trash talk, not everyone's going to like it. Some people love it. Some people don't like it. I just figure people need to be themselves, whoever that is. Be your natural self. You know what I mean? I don't think Abel's the voice of reason where whatever he says, just because his fighter, Gennady Golovkin, acts a certain way, then that means everyone's going to act like that. So I appreciate Errol Spence Jr. for being unique and being true to himself. And what I've noticed from Errol Spence Jr., he's far from a punk. Sometimes he's feeling froggish, and then sometimes he's more humble and quiet. And I think that's normal. One of my favorite, actually my favorite rapper of all time is Tupac Shakur. We know he had a side where he's acting, you know what I mean? So he can do a Shakespearean Hamlet or Raisin in the Sun. Then another side of him is doing ballet. Another side of him doing poetry. Another side of him is talking that thug life, baby. Doing a diss song to Biggie, you know what I mean? And I think that's ultimately real because that's how I feel. I'm not any one way all the time. Sometimes I feel like joking. Sometimes I don't feel like joking, you know what I mean? I think we as humans are multifaceted. And again, I don't think it's up to Abel Sanchez to explain to the public how black fighters should be received and or act. So I like that Errol Spence is humble, cool cat. He reminds me of Terrence Crawford mentally. They're both mentally strong, both confident as hell in their abilities. Sometimes they start, you know what I mean, talking a little trash and showing some bravado. But more often than not, they're just laid back, kick back, smiling, jovial, you know what I mean, things like that. Family and friend oriented. So I like that about Errol Spence. I like how he's been talking a little bit more, saying they say they want it, but they don't want no smoke. I'll be Keith Thurman easy. You know what I mean? I like that because he's not always like that, but sometimes it's needed, especially when people have what you want and they're not willing to give it up. They're not willing to give you a shot, give you opportunity. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I'm not saying Errol Spence is desperate, but the nice guy thing, maybe that didn't get enough people's attention, but maybe if you embarrass people, I mean, this is boxing, people. Edeslandi Lara, if you guys do your homework, he had called out Canelo way before he actually got the fight. But it wasn't until Canelo beat Angulo and Lara jumped on stage and embarrassed him that Canelo was just like, enough is enough. De La Hoya make this fight. I'm fighting this dude. You know what I'm saying? So Errol Spence, he's just examining life as a champion, trying different things. And it's okay to talk some trash, especially when you're competitive. That's what competitors do. You know what I mean? You think you're the best. Another dude thinks he's the best. And realistically, what top level name, like with momentum and everything? Because I've heard a couple of people, like Luis Collazo's my dude. Shout out to Luis Collazo. Shout out to Brooklyn. He's mentioned fighting Errol Spence Jr. But again, he hasn't fought really since he fought Sammy Vasquez and he was injured. So he's kind of been on the sidelines. He hasn't really had much activity recently. I know he's training and stuff like that. I see him training in the gym and stuff. But I'm just talking about momentum as like a Danny Garcia. You just fought on PBC Showtime just a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean? Does Danny Garcia really want to fight Errol Spence Jr. like this year? Mikey Garcia's entertained the idea of fighting against Errol Spence Jr., but he's talking about a couple fights in the future. Who's ready for the Errol Spence test now? Errol Spence is making his hometown return June 16th. He says #man down. He's fighting his mandatory Carlos Ocampo, and that's it. People got to deal with it. That's a rightful fight. He went in someone else's backyard to get the title. He's definitely owed a hometown fight. He did his first title defense against a respected veteran, and now he's fighting who the IBF tells him he has to fight to keep his title. I have no problem, and I see no problem with that at all. In addition, aside, fuck the mandatories, because unifications trump mandatories and things like that. We know through his own mouth, through his own actions, through his own interviews, that Keith Thurman has no intention of fighting Errol Spence Jr. this year for the reasons he cited. Injuries, and I got to work my way back in the division and let the fight build, and he can have a couple more title defenses. So there's nothing you can say about Errol Spence Jr. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. I mean, what can you say? If it was up to Errol Spence Jr., he's not injured. You know what I mean? So he's willing to fight Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is the one that 2018 not going to happen, baby. You're not going to see it. Nope. You know what I mean? So don't get mad. I don't care. Listen, it's a mandatory, and this was a sign from the IBF. No way you can blame Spence. Let me know your thoughts. Drop in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.